Hey guys, Fishy here. So Rellana is one of my favourite bosses in FromSoftware history and has all the components of an absolutely epic fight. In this video, I'll show you how to parry her. What you're watching here is a hitless Rellana fight with 0 Shadow Tree fragments on this character. You can watch the full fight on my second channel. I want to start off by giving you some general advice that will help everyone, but be most important for anyone doing either hitless fights or rune level 1. In so many ways, Rellana is the spiritual successor to Malenia. Not because of those couple of shared animations, but the fact that when you're doing this fight on any sort of challenge run, you face exactly the same problems. Yes, she does have one bread and butter move that will be the almost exclusive source of all of your deaths. But this fight from a parry perspective, like Malenia, is all about distancing. If you're 30 feet away from Rellana, you're fine. If you're 2 foot away from her, you're fine. But being 10 foot away from her is where the danger zone is. This boss is most dangerous when you are just slightly out of range of a parry, or if you're not directly facing her. Because of this, I always approach her from the front, and if she creates distance, let her come to you or choose a safe attack to close the distance yourself. She's also definitely Shadow of the Erdtree's Morgot, as the only reason there isn't a million posts about her being incredibly difficult and unfair is because she's early in the game and easy to overpower. Her with some of the bigger health bars in this game would be incredibly fun. Let's look at the attacks. The following attacks will occur in both phase 1 and 2 and are parryable in both. We'll start with the easy ones and work up to the worst one. The easiest parry in this fight is the slow double. This is basically a Radagon parry, where you can parry the hand and be fine, like you're playing Dark Souls 1. Input here, right at the top of her swing. Next, the spinning slash, which, if you're a parry enjoyer, you don't need me to tell you how to parry, because it's the same as Malenia's one. You want to parry just here, before that final rotation. There's also one that goes to the left rather than the right. Parry-wise, it's exactly the same timing. However, if you're doing a normal dodge fight, you want to be careful of the rotation to the left, as it can lead to an almost never-ending combo. If you've ever run out of stamina trying to dodge a combo in this fight, it's probably because you tried to play too aggressively after this attack. So parry it or give her space until she resets. Next up, the Twirly Overhead. Another bread and butter attack you'll see a lot. You want to parry right here, the split second she starts to raise the sword upwards. Probably taking the title for the second hardest parry in the fight is the quick stab. It happens super fast, but luckily there's not really any other attacks that look like this. So parry as soon as you see her start to pull that sword back. Now for the helicopter. Interestingly, this is one of the only attacks in Elden Ring that can seemingly be parried 2 different ways, as the parry can catch either her left or right-handed sword. I don't know if this makes for a more forgiving parry window, but it wouldn't surprise me as this one is really consistent. You want to parry here, just as you see her start to unwind. She sometimes uses this move to close distance if you're at range. If you see this, dodge it instead of parrying, as the distance is not very forgiving. The attacks that you do want to see when you're at a distance is either the double uppercut, which is very consistent to parry by inputting here when you see her elbows start to raise, or the spell and twist, which is by far my favourite parry in the fight. Dodge the projectiles, then input here as you see the blue sword start to twitch. Now for the phase 2 only attacks. Phase 2 can start 2 different ways. The less optimal is with the magic wave attack. Now if you try and roll this logically, you'll get frame trapped by the 4th wave. The way I dodge this attack is to dodge the first 2 waves, then continue rolling at the same tempo for the next 2, so 4 evenly spaced rolls. This actually works for a couple of attacks in Shadow of the Erdtree. It doesn't look particularly cool, but it is effective. The more effective strat, however, is to just never need to dodge this attack in the first place. Whenever she does this wind up, it seems that what attack comes out next is dependent on your distance to her. If you're far away, you get magic, but if you're up close, you get the fire tornado. So every time I see the wind up, I run straight in, then out again, baiting the tornado attack, then escaping the blast radius. All you have to do then is avoid the fire on the floor. The moon slams are devastating if you get hit with them, but the jump timing is really simple. Input as soon as you see downward movement from the moons or her. And now for the hardest attack in this fight. Like Malenia's, the quick 1-2 was responsible for 95% of my deaths on my no-hit Rellana attempts. So there's 2 options. The first is commit, inputting here as soon as you see her pull the sword behind her. However, the more sensible thing to do here is to roll, but it is slightly complicated. At point blank range, rolling back is not safe. You will get hit by the follow-up. On a light roll character, however, it is safe. So if you can get to light roll for this fight, simply roll this attack backwards. When you do, there's 2 options for follow-ups. For one of which, you can simply walk backwards until she resets. And for the other, she'll give you a far easier cross slash, which you can parry by inputting here, just as you see her move forward. And that's it. How to parry Rellana. If you end up posting a cool parry fight after watching this video, feel free to tag me in it. I try and watch as many of them as I can. If you want to see more parry guides and build guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon.